Hello everybody and welcome back to Maximus, and welcome to this more detailed look at how to build yourself in the early game to make sure you get as far as possible and collect as many resources as possible. Now, as you can see on your screen here, I've listed my 5 tips that I go over in my how-to guide that I put out this week, and they are: number 1, take your fast activating and stacking abilities on your basic attacks. These are your stacking curses and your activation effects, like from Zeus. Tip 2 is take your single activation abilities on your special attacks, because they're gonna, or not special attacks, on your slower attacks, because they're gonna hit a lot less often, but they have a much more powerful effect, and you can usually hit multiple enemies with your slower attack, so you'll get a lot more value out of it. And tip 3 is gonna be focus on building up one attack early on so you can get as far as possible, because if you can get enough boons and upgrades into your basic attack, your special attack, your cast, I don't know if you can do it with your dash, but with those 3 at least, you can get really far in the game and actually get a really good run in. Tip number 4 is going to be don't take too many defensive boons. That's because defensive boons stack multiplicatively, which, if you don't understand what that means, it basically means that if you get a 30% boost and a 30% boost, you don't get 60%, you get 50%. Check out the how-to guide that I released this week for how that math actually works out. I go over it there. And then tip number 5 is going to be, we're still very early on in the game. I've only actually done 7 runs with this Zagreus, and that was just recording footage and such for the how-to guides. So it's really still present on my mind that I want to farm resources whenever possible. So following these 5 guides, we're going to see how far we can get and how well we can take advantage of these tips to see how far we can get. And really quickly, I'm just going to show you that I am not very far into this game. For keepsakes, I've only got 2. I've got the old spike collar from Cerberus. I recommend that you get this first as a new player because the health boost is awesome. It's going to help you get further a lot more often. And then when you come across Sisyphus, who is the exclamation mark that shows up in Tartarus, he offers you the Shattered Shackle if you give him a nectar, which, as you can see, a 40% increase to damage while not empowered by a boon is very useful when you first start out in the game. I'm going to take the Spike Collar because I want to show you guys these 5 tips in action without any kind of damage boost from the Shattered Shackle. Now, as well, I'm going to break my own rule here. Normally, I would take the bow, since we have our Dark Thirst on it, but I've seen a lot of people having issues with the spear in the Discord chat for Hades, which, by the way, you should absolutely join. Look up Hades Supergiant Discord, and you can join the Discord group and talk to myself and tons of other people for advice on getting into the game. So I'm going to take the spear here to show what its strengths are, which are that it just has a very long basic attack. You can strike enemies from quite far away, so it's very safe that way. And then if you're surrounded, you can do this longer sort of spin attack as well. I don't find myself using it that much just because it's a little slow, but it's a good option. And then your dash attack is actually this sort of like crescent sweep attack, and that one can hit multiple enemies that are in a small area around them instead of just penetrating and doing damage. So this is really good for crowd control. I consider the basic attack of the spear to be a quick attack, so we're going to be focusing on tip number 1 for it, trying to get something like Dionysus's Hangover Strike or Zeus's Chain Lightning Strike on it, so that we can proc that as often as possible. Now, the special attack for the spear is this awesome 2-hit throw strike. I consider that to be a slow attack, but it can combo to be a quick attack as well, since it hits twice per throw. I usually treat it as a slow attack, though, because if you treat it that way and you get something like Doom on it, you can throw, dash, and grab again, and you don't have to worry about hitting the guy twice because you've already applied your Doom effect, which you don't get any real bonus for hitting them 2 times in that case. Now, really quickly, just to show you guys what I'm running for abilities here, I still only have our basic purple abilities. I could switch to our greens here, which you will unlock after talking to Nyx 2 or 3 times. But I think these purple ones are a better place for players to start. You get some bonus backstab damage, you get a little bit of heal every chamber you get through. Death Defiance is, of course, your one for respawn. I'm about halfway to getting another one of those. And then Greater Reflex. I really recommend you stick to Greater Reflex early on in the game because it gives you 2 dashes, which is very useful when you're trying to figure out the invincibility frames for it and how to actually dodge attacks. So with that, you can see I've got 6 keys. I could unlock more abilities, but that's not really the point of this. We're going to just keep it nice and basic and show you guys how to build. I could unlock... We'll see if I can get enough keys to unlock the other weapon this time as well. So you can see it's very early in the game. I don't have very many items. I don't have the ability to influence what boons I'm going to get, because when you give God's Nectar, they give you a keepsake that makes so that your next boon is from them with increased rarity chance. For me, I am not doing that. I want to just use RNG to show you, okay, well, I got, for example, here, I can increase the damage on my special attack with a charge attack. I can get a better spin attack on my basic attack, or I can get more range on my basic attack. And I think I'm going to take more range, because that sounds good, and it does a little bit more damage as well. So our focus is going to be trying to get... Ooh, that is a lot more range. Our focus is going to be trying to get boons that stack well on our basic attack. So any quick stacking abilities, Demeter, Dionysus, Zeus, Artemis as well is a good option. Wow, that has ridiculous range on it. Holy crap. So I can now strike across the whole map without any fear of retaliation. Got a nice little bit of darkness. And we've got Athena. Now, Athena is sort of an in-between case for these tips, because her abilities, they tend to be good on slower attacks, because the deflect ability lasts longer based on the animation length, I think. But really what you want from Athena is you want her dodge and you want her cast, because those are, well, they're just incredibly valuable. They do a whole ton of deflect work. I know Athena, she's really comforting. You know what? So we get some more attack bonus damage and we get deflect. I'm not gonna take that. It hurts me to say it because it's epic, but we've already gone too far into attack to take it. If I was using a different weapon like the bow, or maybe even the sword, I would take that, but I don't think it's the right pick for the spear. We already have a lot of range with our upgrade. So instead, I am going to take, I'm actually going to take Divine Dash, just because I think this is the best ability Athena offers in the game, and you'll see why. Because you want to be dashing whenever you're in danger. Lots of flubs there. You want to be dashing whenever you're in danger anyway, and it really makes it great because you can then deflect any ranged attacks back at enemies, which with the spear, my long range is making it so that's not such a big issue, but as we get into Asphodel and different areas, it's going to become more and more valuable, and geez, the range on that spear is incredible at this point. So we got some nice darkness, we got Chaos Gate, we got Poseidon, we got the Heart. I am actually going to go for Poseidon here. Oh no, oh no! Camera stopped. Why my camera stopped? Okay, camera, syncing again. Okay, back into it, here we go. Technical difficulties, I tell you. So we're going for Poseidon because we're following tip number 5, and that is that we want to focus on farming as much as possible. As well as, I'm curious how Poseidon's abilities will stack on some of the slower abilities. Now, I'm not going to give Nectar to any of these guys because I don't want to be doing that just yet. So, we can knock foes away with the attack. We can get the Flood Shot, or we can get Hydraulic Might. I'm actually going to try the basic attack because we've got the extended range on the spear, so I think that's going to be really good because if they're too close, we're going to push them away, and it means that most of the time when I'm attacking you can see I'm actually reaching the wall behind the enemies. So we should be able to do some bonus damage pretty consistently by hitting enemies into walls. I'm very curious. We'll see how it works. So far, I kind of like it. Yeah, that's kind of nice, actually. Yeah. So it's just a nice little option. There's the wall slam right there. Sweet. I like that. So we're doing pretty good on Nectar. We got another Athena one. Okay, we've already got one Athena. Ooh, we got Doomstone. Okay. Oh, you can push the Doomstone around. Okay. Ow, ow, ow. So you'll notice I'm not using my special attack here. That's because I haven't put any points into upgrading it. So I'm really focusing on just hammering him with my basic attack. Since I'm slamming him into a wall, it's proving to be pretty effective. You can see we're getting quite a lot of bonus damage from that. So that was pretty easy. That's a nice combo. I like that increased range and Poseidon on that. And so with this, we're going to go for Phalanx Shot, because this is epic. It's a high damage cast, and it also offers Deflect, which I like. Yeah, that's pretty good. Ooh, and we got a nice Palm of Power. So with this, we're going to try and upgrade our attack from Poseidon. So this room is something that's very important for all new players. When you first unlock the House Contractor, who is the shade who sits at a little desk next to Hades back in the House of Hades, which I think you get after your first or second run, he will give you this upgrade. I'm just going to level up here really quick. Let's take Tempest Strike, why not? Because we're upping our basic attack. He will unlock this fountain room for you for free. It doesn't cost you anything. And what it does, it gives you a random chance as you go through Tartarus, and only Tartarus, to get a free upgrade and to heal as you go at it. So it's very much worth it, especially for free. It's hard to argue with free. I'm going to make another video about what you should buy from the House Contractor first, later on. For now, I'm really trying to focus on the basics of combat, though. And you can see I got a nice little deflect right there. And, man, I'm really loving this spear upgrade, actually. This is sweet. Look at this. Can hit from pretty much anywhere on the map, and we've got a nice amount of damage on it. And we got another Power Palm. Nice. Okay. See you. Shouldn't have done that, but we'll accept it anyway. And we're just going to bully that guy against a wall over there. Oh, this is nice. This is very nice. And you can see that I accidentally, I didn't even mean to do it, I accidentally deflected one of the Pest's range attacks back there, which was a nice little bonus. Which is why the Athena Dash is such a really desirable ability, because you use Dash so much, you'll end up deflecting stuff that you're not even paying attention to. So with this, I'm going to increase my Phalanx Shot, because the dash damage on the dash really isn't much, but this is obviously another 50 damage. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we're going to prioritize Darkness because we want to get stronger. Gemstones are nice, but by far Darkness is more important in my opinion. That was an awesome little shot right there. That could have been much better. And you can see, with Poseidon, I'm just shoving these guys into walls, and I can hit them from a very safe distance. Wow, that is a fantastic combo. I've never actually taken this upgrade on the spear before, and being able to push enemies around from range like that, that's nice. I really like that. And we end up getting a little bit of gemstones anyway, so it was worth our time. Okay, so this one, all we gotta do is survive. I think I can probably just push them around and kill everybody, because I'm feeling pretty strong at this point. We've done a good job of focusing on our basic attack. Now you'll notice I didn't level up my basic attack again there, despite tip 3 where we want to, focus on one attack. That's because it would only be an 8% increase to damage, and I don't think that's worth taking over increasing our other abilities at least. Just because with Poseidon, our wall slam is really our prime source of damage, just like that, and I don't see it as necessary to continue getting minuscule increases to our basic attack damage. What I really want to focus on is getting more Poseidon boons at this point. We've already got Palms of Power, we've already got a increase to our damage from the Daedalus Hammer, so what we really want is going to be Poseidon boons now. Or possibly a Chaos boon. Let's say, I don't have very much Charon, So I'm kind of low on health, and the boss is coming up soon. So I'm gonna avoid the Chaos Gate here, because no, screw it. I'm going for the Chaos Gate. What am I talking about? Something really nice about Chaos is he can upgrade the damage of your attacks, which hopefully he'll do here, or give me the option to at least. We got Special Increase, we got Slippery Grasp, or we got Flayed Eclipse. So I'm going to take Flayed Eclipse. I'm not using my special attack anyway, so I shouldn't lose any health from it. And again, tip number 5, you got to take your farming. And this is doubling the amount of darkness and gemstones we're getting. So it's really going to help us progress through the game that much faster. And we have a Hermes buff right away. I'm definitely going for Hermes over Charon because I've only got 160 Charon available. Boom. What you got for me, Hermes? Yeah, that's pretty good. So with this, I am going to take Greater Haste. I like moving faster. I've already got 2 dashes, so I don't think it's necessary to get another one. I don't feel the need for a 3rd one, despite Athena's ability to deflect. That's cool. I'll just be over here then. So this is the only thing that Poseidon's not fantastic for, is I can't bully the bosses as well. But with my increased range, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Because I can pretty much just stand back, and you can see, strike her very safely. I'm actually out of range of all of her melee attacks, which is kind of an awesome ability, and I can just stand in line of her regular attacks and not have any real concern. So this is actually working out pretty nice. Pretty happy with this build. And again, this is the strength of tip number 3, focusing on a single attack as our damage dealer. As we proceed through the other levels of the game, you know, we'll get the special attack. Sorry, just focusing up here a little bit. We'll get the special attack a little bit stronger. But for now, you can see, focusing on the basic attack, beat the first Fury. Very little issue whatsoever. And again, I'm not that far into the game. I don't have very many abilities leveled up. I'm only using a level 2 Cerberus Collar, which you can very easily get as a new player. And it's working out. I defeated her without very much issue. Get a nice little heal here. I could use a little bit more, and we get a little bit more right there. Beautiful, perfect. Anything I want to sell? No, I'm happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. Because again, if we can, I'd like to get some more Poseidon boons, because he makes my knockback effects do more damage and apply different curses as well. So if we get the option to, I'm definitely going to prioritize him. And we'll just get some Charon here, which will be nice, because we'll be able to visit Charon's shop and maybe get a nice little boon. So let's see how our build does now that we are in Asphodel. And it looks like it does pretty well, because these are very melee-focused guys. And I'm able to keep them at range pretty easily. And actually make use of that spin attack, since I've got so much space between me and the enemy. So it's actually working out pretty well. And this is what I mean by, really, you want to make use of tip number 3 and tip number 1 or 2. Because it will give you the highest strength possible and make sure that you get the most value out of your boons for each one that you take. Boom. And just like that, first chamber in Asphodel cleared. No issue. I don't think I even got hit. In fact, I know I didn't get hit. So with the Power Palm at this point, I don't have anything I want to level up. You can't level up Greater Haste. I can only level up Phalanx, Divine, or Tempest Strike. Tempest Strike is going to give me diminishing returns, so I'm going to take the Charon's Oval and hopefully be able to buy another boon from Poseidon later on in a shop. Slam Dancers, okay. And just going to keep bullying this guy, pushing him around. Because that's what I do, is I'm a big bully. I got a nice little bit of deflect right there, keep him in the flames. This is a very nice combo. I'm a big fan of this, actually. I wasn't expecting to. Normally, I find Poseidon's boons can be a little bit difficult to use, but in this combination, with the range from the spear, this is a sweet combo. Boom. Just like that, get another little boost of Charon, so it's worth it for us to go to the shop, but we're going to go to Hermes. My general tier list of boons I'm going to prioritize is I take Daedalus Hammers, Hermes, Gods. If I've got 300 oval at least, I'll then prioritize shops. And then from there, I prioritize power palms, and then centaur hearts generally. That's usually what I'm looking for when I'm trying to become stronger. And I am loving this build, actually. I was not expecting to enjoy using Poseidon so much. But he's doing a good job. Gotta admit, definitely giving me a sweet leg up here. Especially with being able to push enemies into magma. And we got our Chaos Boon working as well. So, any bonus move speeds. That's cool. Let's grab... I'm gonna take the... I've got, I think, a 30% boost to my move, 20% boost to my movement speed, so a 10% damage buff. I'll take quick recovery. I prefer a little bit of healing. We got some Athena, or we got some Dionysus. At this point, we're deep enough into Athena that do I want deflect abilities? Dionysus offers some nice healing stuff as well. In this case, there's not really a better choice, so I'm going to take Athena and hope that I get a boost to my deflect abilities, because getting more damage from deflect, you get very large increases to damage. So it can be a very effective damage source, depending on the boons that you get. But basically, I'm just going to bully these guys, keep them pushed into the walls, keep them on the... well, just do what I'm doing. Bully them, push them into walls. That's the idea. And just like that. Yeah. And you can see Athena's doing some nice work for me with her dash, and getting those sweet wall slams in for a little bit of bonus damage. I'd really like some more Poseidon boons, but we'll see if that's actually in the cards here. That was a nice little bit of dodge. Boom. So this works pretty well. This works very well, actually. Athena, what you got for me? Give me something good.
Oh, yes.
Stronger Flourish, bonus Backstab. I think I'm gonna go for Brilliant Riposte. I don't feel the need to deflect on my special attack. I've already got 2 deflects. So, and Backstab damage is kind of okay. I'm going to take the bonus damage from Brilliant Riposte, because I've already got 2 nice sources, actually, in my opinion, the 2 best sources of deflect. So we might as well try and do some more damage with it, as opposed to trying to take advantage of backstabbing. Because backstabbing is just sort of icing on the cake to me. I don't find it's... Ooh, that hurt. I find it is typically difficult to do consistently. And we're just going to push this guy against a wall and bully him real hard. That's right, we're going to bully him real hard. Zagreus, not known for his kindness, it seems like. Which I guess would make sense, being the son of, you know, the Lord of the Underworld. You know, he's got quite the story. It's not really his place to be kind, shall we say. Did I just heal there? I think I just healed there. Oh, right, because of Hermes. Because I got that sweet little Hermes buff, which is nice. So I heard a Chaos Gate. I can get a key, I can get Darkness, or I can do a Chaos Gate. I'm a little bit low on health, and I'm trying to get this... Ooh, but we got an Infernal Trove of money. Not worth it. So this is another upgrade that you new players should focus on. From the House Contractor, you can get what are called Infernal Troves unlocked. The first one of which only costs 10 gemstones. So the first video of this that I made, I collected 10 gemstones, and I was able to unlock these. And these are going to increase your farming potential significantly. I'm not going to do it. I'm actually going to go for the Darkness, because don't forget, if we take a look at my boons here, I have this Flayed Eclipse from Chaos, so I'll get twice as much Darkness from this. So that's what we're going to do. And it should be a pretty easy fight. We'll probably see Charon before the boss here. I'm just going to keep him over there in the flame a little bit. Get a nice little deflect. And just bully him to death. Bully him to death. And bully him to death. Just being a bully all around. Uncle Poseidon, known for being a bully, apparently. Shoving around those weaker than him. Which I guess would make sense, being the god of the sea kind of thing. Man, that deflect is really paying dividends for me, since there's so many ranged enemies this time. Boom. And just like that, 22 Darkness. Aphrodite or Charon. at this point, I gotta check out Charon because I haven't seen another Poseidon boon, and I really want another Poseidon boon. Aphrodite would be nice on my special attack. Another Athena. Jeez. I think it's the boss next. Yeah, it's the boss next. Okay, well, we're here, so we'll get another Athena here. Let's go ahead and we'll get... these are all kind of crappy. We'll try getting better Deathless Defiance. We'll level up our... Oh, we'll get stronger Deflects again. That's nice. So 137%. That's actually going to be nice in this fight with the Hydra because he's got so many ranged attacks that between my dash and my cast, I should be hitting him with his own attacks quite a lot, which is going to really help since Poseidon is not going to help me very much against the Hydra. So, ideally, what I want to be doing is deflecting those back into him. And you can see that I actually did quite a lot of damage. So a nice little increase. You can deflect melee attacks, but I find that it's a little bit harder to do so. So I prefer to just focus on deflecting the ranged attacks. And you can see I'm losing my focus a little bit here. Just go ahead and stab this guy from far away. Nice little bit of deflect boost there. And right like that, got another deflect proc in there, which helped me do some more damage to wrap up that head. So this is the downside of Poseidon, is he's not very helpful for the bosses until you find another boon from him. That's why I normally don't prioritize him that much, but I was expecting to find another boon from him before now. So we're actually going to be in some rough shape once we get into Elysium here, because, we haven't been able to max as much damage onto our basic attack as I would like to, since we haven't actually been given access to the boons that we need. But we're going to keep pressing on and see how well we can do here. And I'm just going to do some sweet dodges, deflects there. Oh, I should have deflected that a little bit better. And almost there. Almost got another head down. Come on. Fall down, Hydra. The Hydra, I think, is a pretty easy fight. These first two bosses, the first three bosses really, you end up face tanking a lot of their damage, which in the Hydra's case, ow, as he shows me wrong right there, in the Hydra's case is not that hard to do, because if I can get my dodge working properly, overall, all of his hits do little damage on their own. Okay. So, you see, I didn't quite get as much... I wasn't able to take advantage of tip 3 as much as I wanted to, because I didn't get very many boons that would actually stack on top of each other. And Poseidon doesn't work on bosses as well. But, we're going to give it another shot here. Hopefully you understand... so this is the house contractor. I understand a little bit better how to use the spear now. Very nice. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm actually not gonna buy any upgrades here. I'm just gonna move on. We're trying to show you gameplay here, not show you the upgrades. So I'm gonna move on, and we are going to... I'm gonna keep these basic level ups. I know I could increase my capabilities a little bit more, but I really want to gear this towards our newer players, so I'm not going to do that. And we'll take the shield.
You just protect me.
So the shield is very good. This basic attack is pretty quick, but I consider it to be under the influence of tip number 1, which is quick basic attack, as well as this dash is super nice. The block is awesome. And then this ranged attack is definitely a slower attack. You can do it a little bit quicker, but it doesn't do very much damage, and most importantly, it bounces between targets. And when it bounces, it stays out for longer. So it definitely benefits. And we got Poseidon again right away. Jeez. Well, you didn't help me as much as I would have liked last time. But let's go ahead and we'll grab... Let's try... I'm going to save the special attack because... Okay, so the general strategy with the shield for you new players who haven't used it very much is you are going to be dashing into enemies a lot and then smashing them in the face, kind of thing. And that has natural knockback. So, and then you're going to want to try and... I think that the Tempest Strike is what I want to do here. Nah, this is hard. This is a non-optimal start, what I'll say. So, I am going to go ahead and let's try it on the special attack. Let's see how this does.
Let's make some waves, right, Uncle?
Because, I mean, the special attack on the shield is pretty good, so it's hard to mess it up. And it's, again, just going to give me some more space. That's pretty solid so far. I mean, it's just a skull. They don't have much health. But the fact that it bounces, definitely not a bad thing. Just like that. Okay. And of course we're taking advantage of Dark Thirst because you should always do that unless you're filming a tutorial video for new players and you want to show them a specific weapon. But in this case, I'm definitely taking it. And we'll see what the Daedalus Hammer gives us. We might be able to get an interesting increase to our special damage, which would be interesting with Poseidon. I don't know if he's worth stacking boons on with the shield, because normally I like to use, let's see, Dash Strike, yeah, okay, that's pretty good. Special balances more, Bull Rush charges faster. Dash Strike. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try upping the special attack. We've got a pretty good amount of area of effect now with the special attack, which should be enough to get us through the basic rooms pretty easily. But we will see how it does. And again, we're following tip number 3 here, and we're trying something new as well. Boom, there we go. Okay, a little bit of darkness. And Ares, finally. Okay, so Ares is normally who I would want on my special attack. So maybe he'll give us the option to replace our Poseidon buff, which would be very nice, because we will get an increased rarity of the buff then as well. Ooh, that's actually kind of nice, just keeping him at bay like that. Not the most interesting gameplay to watch, I'm sure, but remains very effective. So yes, if Ares offers us a replacement for our special attack, that will be very good. We might be able to get an epic buff right away, and then we'll be able to apply Doom to multiple enemies at once, which is very nice. Oh jeez, there's more of them. Okay, I'm not going to keep doing that the whole time. We'll show you a little bit more of the shield gameplay here, where you want to try and force enemies around, and you can see there's a lot of natural knockback on it. Okay, Ares. Come on, Ares. Do me right. Do me right. Give it to me. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. That's kind of disappointing. Let's go for... Let's go for Blade Dash. It's a nice little boost, and I'm going to be dashing a lot with the shield, so it could combo interestingly with the natural... Yeah, the natural knockback makes that an interesting upgrade to try and get, since I am pushing enemies away from me a lot more. And I can actually keep them in the Blade Strike for a little more, which does 5 damage, I believe it's every half second. And now we have Artemis. This is a very strange combination of boons that we're getting in this run. But I'm curious to see if it'll work. Artemis, she actually works on both slow and fast attacks. The reason being, as you'll note in the how-to guide, that the way that critical works is every single time you do it, it does a flat damage increase, and the tooltip says 200%. So, on stronger attacks, you'll do more damage, but on quicker attacks, you'll be more likely to proc. Ooh. You'll be more likely to proc the special strike. Ooh, okay. Okay. I think I'm going to have to get Deadly Flourish. I like that a lot more. I like that a lot more because we're going to bounce between more enemies, and this does more damage and 20% chance to do critical. So I like that. I'm going to try that. We might be able to save this build yet, so let's see how that does. So far, pretty solid. Yeah, that did lots of damage. Artemis, I generally think that she's better for quicker attacks because she has additional boons that do... Wow, that is awesome. She has additional boons that actually fire arrows, for example, every single time you land a hit. Ooh. Which is very nice for increasing your damage on the quicker attacks. We're going to prioritize Ares here, because I've already got an Ares boon, and he can stack very effectively. So with this, I'm going to grab Urge Kill. I'm just going to get a 10% boost to everything. Again, that just kind of increases our special attack a little bit. Okay, Poseidon, let's see what you got. So his Angry God Strike is that wave, and it can actually be a pain in the butt to try and avoid. So you gotta kind of keep an eye on it, and I don't have Athena's wonderful dash to keep me safe anymore, unfortunately. Okay, there we go. Not too bad. Okay, Poseidon, what do you got for me? Hopefully he'll give me a nice little resource increase. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take the resource increase in this case, because it's going to let me get a little bit further, hopefully. And I've got enough money to go see Charon. Ooh, and we've got an Infernal Trove. Don't need it, just health. Health, not that important. So we got a Power Palm. I'm going to take the Power Palm over the Charon, since we already got some Charon. Wow, we're finding this Tartarus place very often. At this point, I'm going to increase my Deadly Flourish, because we are obviously focusing once again on our... Well, once again, you didn't see the once again. We are focusing on our special attack, so I want to take everything I can to make that stronger. And in this case, I'm going to take Darkness. Like I said, Darkness is the single most important resource when you are early in the game, especially... Oop, got hit by the trap there. Especially at this point, I've got a decent amount of keys, so I can unlock the next range of abilities, and I'm going to want to upgrade those right away. Okay, on that Blaze Strike doing some work for me. You got anything for me to buy here, Charon? Do you have anything for me? Doesn't look like it. Okay, okay. And in this case, let's go ahead and we're going to get another Power Palm. I think there's one more chamber after this, before the boss, where we're going to have the opportunity to go shopping with Charon. And I cannot wait for that, because I'm very curious to see what option we're going to get. And you can see I'm really missing Athena's boon here, because I'm trying to dodge into enemies and deflect them, because I'm just used to having it. But Ares' boon does do a little bit of damage as well, so it's very nice. So at this point, I'm going to take Urge to Kill. Urge to Kill? No, I'll take Deadly Flourish again. We're going to take a little bit more damage. That's an 11% increase. And there we go. So we're going to go see Charon. Hopefully he's got another Athena buff would be good. Dionysus. Jeez. We're getting some interesting drops here. Let's take Dionysus and see what he has to offer us. So we can get some Festive Fog. We can get Premium Vintage. In this case, I'm going to take Premium Vintage. Festive Fog is okay. The stun is not that amazing. It is epic, though. I think I'm going to take Premium Vintage, though, because it gives me a little bit of life gain. And that's going to help out a little bit. I'm not going to buy the health increase because I'm near topped anyway. And we're going to see again here, if you're having trouble with the Furies, we should be able to clear her pretty easily with our shield. Because you can see I can just jump back and forth and bounce it on her. And we're getting a couple of crit hits here and there, a couple crit hits there and there. And the nice thing with the shield, as we'll see here in a second when she starts doing her ranged attack, is that we can just stand and block it with zero issue. I haven't been blocking with the shield very much, mostly because I've been throwing a lot, but that is definitely one of the better points of the shield. As well as just the increased mobility that offers you when you're doing that. Come on, Meg. Come on, Meg. There we go. Okay, okay. So we've got her to about half. The shield's really doing a good job of keeping all of the background enemies down for us. And I think she's going to start her... Oh no, she's doing her big AoE attack again. Which we'll just dodge around. It's pretty easy. I don't think you can block it with the shield, so it's better just to avoid it. And you can see by using the shield bounce... By using the shield bounce, my camera's just died there, so I got a little bit distracted. By using the shield bounce, we're actually able to stay pretty safe while we're fighting her. Hopefully you guys aren't gonna miss seeing my beautiful face. Really egoistic there, narcissistic saying beautiful, but miss seeing my face too much while I finish off Megara here. Hopefully you're just interested in seeing what that looks like and what it takes, and in the proof that you can do this very easily if you focus on the right abilities and boons, specifically on chaining them. And just like that, we got her. Okay. Boom. And so, we beat Megara. Again, focusing on tips 1, 2, and 3. I'm mixing in tip 4 and tip 5 as our general build and boon selection advice. Do we have anything I want? I'm going to go ahead and get Eye of the Lamia here, just to give me a little bit more heal, and then before we go on to the next part here, I'm going to pause the video. For you guys, it's going to be nothing, and swap the battery in my camera. And welcome back. Just like that, the camera's restored. Let's see how far into Asphodel we can get with this. I haven't gotten the boons I want perfectly, but it was strong enough to get us past Megara at least. And we should be able to get to the Hydra, I think, since our shield is going to bounce between enough enemies that I think we'll be okay. And we'll get, you know, a nice little bit of health here from our Centaur's Heart.
More trouble.
And actually, Ares' dash is doing a nice little bit of damage here. It's definitely helping us out as well. I should be melee attacking a little bit more, but I'm really focused on... There we go. Really focused on showing off the special attack here. And now I'll go ahead and use my basic attack a little bit more. This is how the shield really shines, is the ability to bounce between using ranged attacks and using close range attacks. And wow, we got Eurydice right away, or we got a Chaos Gate. I am definitely going to go see Eurydice because, in my opinion, she offers the best buffs in the game of these characters that you can randomly come across. Hi, Eurydice.
You must be the
Yep,
haste.
sorry, you're gonna have to talk to her on your own if you want to see what's going on. Now this is where she's awesome. So, we can upgrade 2 random boons to the next rarity, which is very strong, or we can get 4 random boons plus 1 level, and this is the one that I like the most. The next 3 boons you get have upgrade rarity. In my opinion, this is the strongest one, and I take it almost every single time. And we're going to take it again. Because if we can, I'd like to get some more Artemis boons. Getting increased critical damage, chance of critical, or arrows firing every time that we hit with a special attack or a cast attack is going to be very, very strong indeed. There we go. Ow. Just jump right into that bomb right there. Screw caution. Put it to the wind. Not necessary, in fact. So you can see I'm kind of just using my ranged attack at this point to keep the pressure on the enemies and kind of keep the damage going on them. The only downside with throwing the shield all the time is you aren't holding it, which of course means you can't basic attack, you can't block or anything like that. But can very much be worth it when you consider how much AoE damage it's doing across the fields to all of the other enemies. And we'll get ourselves a key. Now, Dionysus. Dionysus! Okay, Dionysus, you better have something good for me, man. You better have something good for me, man. Hopefully I can get something that is going to chain well with my special attack. But we might also switch to focusing on the basic attack, because I'm hitting with the basic attack enough that it is definitely worth... Oh, get out of there. Definitely worth having Dionysus' hangover ability on it. And we'll try and get some more blades on these guys. There we go. So we're not doing as much damage as I would like at this point, but we're still doing okay. There we go. 2, right, that. And we've actually got a pretty good haul in terms of resources this time as well. Wow, you're just standing there taking it. He was gonna, I think, so once you knock down the armor off these guys, you can stand and just sort of punch them in the face because they start getting stunned. And I'm not coming over there. You gotta come over to me. You gotta come over to me. I'm not coming over there. Come on, seriously? You're gonna stand over there and make me just throw the shield at you continuously? Jeez. Jeez, that's not very sportsmanlike. Just hit you in the face with the shield a bunch. It's gonna take forever like this. Come on, die. Die. Come here. Come here. Just come on. Come on. There we go. Jeez. She was not interested in fighting.
Ooh, good.
So let's go ahead and his call's pretty good. Yeah, we'll get the call. We'll get the call. It'll be a nice little bit of damage increase here. So hopefully Hermes gives us an increase in speed with which our special attack is delivered. Or any other, well, I mean, honestly, pretty much any Hermes upgrade is pretty good in my books. Because I really like playing fast and doing my best to... I really like playing fast. It plays my style very well. I find that I'm dashing a lot, and I think that as you play the game, that is sort of the natural playstyle you're going to find most players are going around with. And again, I'm not spending too much... Ooh, that could be very good. Let's go ahead, and we're going to grab Quick Favor. Absolutely going to grab that. And we'll get a nice little boost to our God Gauge, which is going to help us with our damage. So Power Palm or some money. In this case, I'm going to get money because we've already got all of our abilities that we care about leveled up pretty well. And this will let me get another boon from Chiron before the boss, which is going to be a nice little boost. Yeah. So against weaker enemies, this special attack, it's still doing its job in terms of just going through and bouncing between them, doing tons of damage. And the nice thing you'll notice, again, something that you'll notice as you play the game more, is that all of your special attacks, they actually erase all the projectiles that are currently coming at you, which is a very nice sort of passive ability that they drop for you. There we go. Oh, come on, die. Thank you. Okay, so we get a nice little bit of Chiron. Oh, and we leveled up Cerberus's Collar. That's nice. Poseidon or Chiron. We're definitely going to go see Chiron. We're too late to get Poseidon at this point, and he's not going to really increase our strength that much, especially since we want to try and get past the Bone Hydra this time. There we go. We got an Artemis one. Please, Artemis. Okay, so stronger attack, critical effects deal more damage to armor, or a better cast. We've only got one cast. We've only got one cast, so I'm not going to take this one. I'm going to take Deadly Strike. I'm going to take Deadly Strike because I'm having to melee attack more often. And we got level 2 Blade Dash, and we're going to get some Darkness because you should always get Darkness. It is, again, your #1 resource for getting stronger and leveling up faster. So, here we go. We're going to punch the Bone Hydra once again. Yeah, come on, buddy. Come on. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Oh, and I can leave little blade rips behind to try and hit you as well. So the nice thing about the shield is that I'm actually able to do quite a lot of blocking when it comes to the Bone Hydra, because a lot of his attacks are going to... a lot of his attacks actually do very easily blocked ranged attacks, as we saw last time in the Spear, when I was very heavily invested in Athena. And just use some Dionysus there to get a little bit more damage DPS out. There we go. Boom, Dionysus again, because I want to get this guy down right away. And I'm not that scared of the main head, even though he killed me last time. So, let's see here. Ow. Ow. And we'll get a nice little burst of Dionysus on him. I'm just going to stay away and let that do a little bit of work on him. Because I really don't want to be hit by that if I can avoid it. Come on, come on. Get out of here. So, if you stay at mid-range, it's pretty easy to avoid his ranged attack, at least at this level. It doesn't actually get much stronger at this point. Oh, there's my death defied there. But I think I'm going to be okay. It's feeling good. Seem to have enough DPS to get these guys dead without too much issue. And Dionysus coming up with that awesome Hermes boon that I had is really solid. It's really doing quite a lot of damage. And I'm very happy that he showed up, because without him, it would be a much harder fight. Ow, fire hurts. There we go. Okay, so now all we have to do is we just gotta kill Hydra again, which I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm gonna stay at a bit of a distance. I'm gonna use Dionysus and my throw here, because I really want to make it past the Hydra and see how far into Elysium that we can get. And hey, no one ever said that being a winner meant you weren't sometimes a coward. He's gonna do his ranged attack again, and we'll just get Dionysus, and Dionysus will finish him off for me. Nice. So again, following our 5 tips, even though we didn't get a really good mix of boons that time, we were able to get past the Hydra again. And now we're going to go die in Elysium. I mean, you need some luck, you need some strength to get through this game. And since I still have not invested my darkness into more levels, you know, there's only so far we're going to get into this before we start really feeling the lack of strength that we have with our luck in current build. But you never know. Maybe we'll get far enough that we will be able to level up our abilities a little bit more and eke a little bit more potential out of this build. I really like the shield. I think it's one of the stronger weapons, especially for new players, since you can block melee and ranged attack. But we'll see what happens. Okay, we got Daedalus Hammers. This could turn our build completely around. It depends on what upgrades we have offered here. Because with the right upgrades, we will just be able to utterly smash everything to pieces. So, what do we got? Get out of here, get out of here. I don't need none of that. Now we'll just go ahead and Dionysus these guys, just to, since we got that awesome Hermes upgrade. So we can go ahead and use it a little bit more willy-nilly here. And there we go. Okay, what do you got for me? Give me something good. Next to attacks do more damage. While you dash, your special is faster and deals plus 100% damage. So, hits twice but does not knock foes away. Special hits next to attacks do plus 8%. So I'm going to try this dash and flight. I'm going to do dash and flight. We're going to... Okay, I like that. I'm going to go for the Nectar here because I want Nectar, and I have the Dionysus buff here where I get plus 25 health for that. Actually, this is a good opportunity to show you guys just what I've managed to do with this build. It's not phenomenal, and we're still in Elysium. So we've got Artemis's Deadly Strike, 15% crit, and a little bit of damage buff. Deadly Flourish, 20% crit, a little bit of damage buff. Blade Dash doing 8 damage per hit, which I believe is every half second. A really good Dionysus Aid, which stacks 5 times. Hangover stacks 5 times by default, so that's going to do 90 damage every half second, which is fantastic. We get a little bit of health every time we grab Nectar. We got a 10% damage increase to all of our abilities. Our special bounces more. Dark Thirst, because you should always take Dark Thirst. Dashing Flight, which is going to do a little bit more damage and fly faster. And then this one's awesome. This God Favor gives me more God Gauge gain, which has definitely been saving my behinds throughout this, because it means that I can just smash this guy into a wall. I can activate Dionysus way more often, and it's definitely helping out. It's a very noticeable increase, that 1% every few seconds here, even though I just got hit right there. So, and that is something else that you should always remember as a new player, is that traps also do damage to the enemies. You should never, ever be afraid to knock them close to a trap just like that. The trap didn't kill them, but definitely helped. Dionysus, Artemis, 100%. Don't have enough money to make it worth it going to Charon's shop, but we are absolutely going to grab Artemis here. Screw Dionysus, I want Artemis.
I won't forget this.
You better not. Give me something good. That's okay. Man, you really punched me in the gut here. Okay, well we're gonna Hunter's Mark. It'll help a little bit. Yeah, whatever, Dionysus. I don't care, man. You're not who I want. You're showing up a lot, but you're not who I want. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna keep on fighting. There's a nice little bit of Hunter's Mark right there. Try and stop these guys from respawning. There we go. Come on, shield, get back here. Okay, more enemies, please. So, I've not seen this Angry Dionysus ability before, and it doesn't seem that bad. What would really suck is if you could no longer use the call ability after pissing off one of these gods. That would be a whole nother story. Whole nother story in terms of who I would pick first. But hopefully... There we go. Hopefully Dionysus gives me something good here, because I could really use a pretty solid upgrade. Inflicting... Yeah, you know what? I think that is actually a better choice. I'm gonna take that.
A change of boons was in order.
Ooh, now there's a choice. More Artemis or some Hermes. I'm gonna go for Artemis. Actually. I'm gonna see if I can get some more strength from her, since we've invested pretty heavily into our special attack here. And this is going to be a very challenging fight, actually. I'm gonna try and leave Artemis's, or Ares' Blade Dash, because if I can, I would like to make so that this guy isn't spawning butterflies all the time, and I think the Blade Dash will kill them every time that he spawns them. So, that's what we're gonna do here. And also, Dionysus helping me out. That's it. That's the end. So, that was my 8th run through this game. And again, using 5 tips. Number 1, quick attacks. You want to stack, you want to take abilities that stack curse abilities, or you want to take Zeus is another really good ability. For special attack, or slower attacks, like the shield throw right there, you're going to want to take single hit effects, like Doom from Ares, or Artemis's Critical Strike is a good option. And then you're going to want to try and focus up one attack before any others early on in the game. That's going to make so you clear the first level easily, pretty much no matter what boons you get. You saw there, I didn't get phenomenal boons. The last run, I didn't get phenomenal boons, and I was still able to clear the first run pretty easily and get to the Hydra both times, beating him the second time. Don't forget the 4th as well, is to not take too many defensive buffs. If you want to know why, basically the math makes it that they have diminishing returns for every single damage resistance buff that you take. And then finally, number 5, remember, as you just saw there, no matter how good your build is and how good a player you are, you cannot get to the end of the game without getting stronger. So you need to focus on farming up your darkness, your keys, and your gemstones in order to get to that end game. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this to be helpful. Follow me on Twitter, like and subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. I always pair my short little how-to guides with these longer demonstrations of the principles so you guys really understand what I'm trying to get at. If you make the time to go through and watch these longer ones, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support, and remember, there is no escape.